you become Speights, you became MoBuckets. And that first year, though, you head out there. What was it like? Why'd you choose Golden State?
Man, it was like in that situation, I kind of like knew how they played, and I used to watch them a little bit. And sports, especially everybody watched them when they played the Spurs and Denver Nuggets the year before I got there. So it's like I want to go to a team like that's gonna have fun, great fan base, great coach with Mark Jackson. Like shout out to my boy Mark. He should have had a job already, but he was a great coach, man. You got a foundation out there where you got Steph, you got Clay, and all those guys. They got Draymond, all those guys they had. Why not go join that?
And real quick, we take a quick side note. We talk about Coach Mark Jackson. Obviously, he hasn't been hired back since he being let go at Golden State, but there's a lot of coaching opportunities right now. One in particular is the Brooklyn Nets he's rumored with. I mean, where would you say Mark Jackson should go? Where would be a great fit for him?
I think Brooklyn or even New York, either one of the Knicks or the Nets, because he's a good guy, man. He's a great guy. It's a crazy situation. I'm not sure why he don't got no job, but like I say, the word if anything happens, what people say something, it's gonna travel, and that's mess up. Even not even coaches mess up players also. So he'll get a job, man. And when he do, it's gonna be fun to see him out there.
Absolutely. And we go back to your ultimate decision, going to Golden State, as you said. I mean, this wasn't the Golden State that we look at now from that decade, that kind of dynasty era. I mean, this was Steph before MVP Steph, Clay before the great Clay. Yep. I mean, not Steve Kerr there. So what really was so appealing about them? Because they just came off of losing the first round. I mean, what was so appealing about them?
Just the buzz, man. They had the whole world, man. You know, you watched that play. Everybody watched that playoff. They had the whole world going. So it's like, well, I got a situation to go out there. I'm going to go. They need a big guy because Carl Landry just had left. He was a big part of them. So I'm like, I can come and be that part. And when I got out there, it was fun, man. It was way better than I expected, because when you playing against them, you just go out there and visit and just leave. But to be out there and stay out there, man, those people in the Bay is amazing, man. The best people I've ever been around by far. Everywhere you go, they acknowledge you. And like you said, the Oakland and San Fran is an amazing place to be at, man. That's a place I'll call home for sure.
And there was one game in that very first year for you. You have a career high, 32 points in a game against Philadelphia. Obviously, we talked about them. What was that game like? What was going through your mind as you lit them up?
Every time I left them, I was trying to kill them every time. Not because of the players, none of that kind of stuff. It was something bigger than the players. So I made sure every time we played against Philly, I was making sure that they understand that. Yeah, it wasn't me. It wasn't me when I was there, man. It wasn't me that put me in a situation like that. I did what I had to do, and it showed.
Absolutely. And you go through that year, you're a solid bench piece, you're kind of getting a lot of minutes on the team, and you guys lose in the first round, going to Clippers. That game, we obviously know a lot of big-time memories happened in that series. The old Big Three against Clippers, what's that series like?
No, it was a good series. We was battling with them the whole year, man, but those guys was rolling. That year, I think those guys should have won the championship, but things happened. Those guys was good, man. It was a battle. It was a battle even when I was at Memphis. It was a battle with them. So when I got to Golden State, to take them guys to Game 7 without our starting center shows you a lot about our group and shows you a lot about how the future is going to be. And people talking about just come out and know it. Nah, we was developing something during that time of that season. Then we lost to the Clippers, made us go over the top. It's like, oh yeah, we ain't gonna have this feeling no more. And that's what happened. That's how we took off.
You touched about the Clippers. You obviously go there later on. We'll talk about that in a minute, but that Clippers team has two for sure Hall of Famers, Chris Paul, Blake Griffin, one of the all-time leading rebounders in DeAndre, J.J. Redick, Paul Pierce. I mean, we know that team, one of the best coaches. I mean, would you say they're one of the best, not the best team to ever not win a championship?
Yeah, by far. That was a good team, man. That was a good team. Coach Doc and those guys, man.
Why was it such a big ultra that Steve Kerr comes in? Why was he the guy that able to make this dynasty go down?
Mark Jackson started it, man. It was Mark. He predicted most of those guys are going to be what it is today. So I give a lot of respect to Mark Jackson. And then Steve Kerr came in right off him, and both of them played the game. Both of them is players, coaches. Steve Kerr just preached, don't turn the ball over. But like I said, you got a team that's been together for a couple of years, and a coach come in and just put a little couple things in and just turn up to make the team better. But at the end of the day, the team is going to be better because it was a year. We just lost to the Clippers, so we came back hungrier. So we was going to be better. But to have a guy who experienced all them championships and Steve Kerr to be able to put his feet his hand on us, the reason got us up there for sure to win the championship that year.
And like I said, we know what Steph Curry does that year, and he
Yeah.
becomes one of the best point guards to ever play the game. Did you see that the prior year, seeing him become this kind of player, or did that kind of shock you in a way?
That man works hard, man. That man works hard, extremely hard, day in and day out. So everything he gets, he earned it. He practice hard, and after practice, he goes harder than he do in practice with the guy Nick. Klay Thompson work hard. Those guys is a brotherhood. They don't need to be coached. Those guys just go out there and play hard. They know what they expect. They standard is high out there, and that's why all those guys are successful. It's not overnight. No, it happens. Those guys put in the work, the sweat and tears, and that's why they're who they are.
Absolutely. And you guys go in there, as I said, and you become the prime bench piece. You lead the bench in scoring, and you guys win a championship. What was it like going to that finals?
Yeah, like that year, man, it was fun, man, because at the time, I was the third leading scorer on that team, averaging like 18, 19 points, and it was fun. And like you said, I got the name MoBuckets then, and everything started coming in line. And then we was able, like I said, and then we took off, and we was able to make it to the championship, man. And the fan support is by far the best in any sports, I think. So that helps a lot. Every night you come into a packed arena, it's loud. The other team can't hear. So that helps, man. And that's why I always say shout out to those fans out there in the Bay Area, man. It's the best to ever do it. And then we, like you said, we brought the championship home to Oakland, finish off in Cleveland. Gets a great LeBron James and Kyrie team.
And as you said, you get the name MoBuckets. What was the first time you heard that name?
Man, my boy Brandon Rush, man. Brandon Rush started that. He made that name up. Then Coach Fraser was kind of like the same time too. So those guys bring it up, but I give them more respect to B. Rush though. My boy Brandon Rush.
And the name obviously carries on, becomes a huge name. When did it first start hitting the national spotlight, and you really started saying, "Okay, this is part of my name now"?
Yeah, a lot of people. That's all he called me. Still today, man. I don't know. 50% of those people probably don't know my real name, but most of them they always call me MoBuckets. So. It was a national name when they started saying it on ESPN. You see what I'm saying? So, shout out to B. Rush and shout out to ESPN for putting me on.
And as you go through that season, then you guys come out, the next season comes out, and you guys break the record, 73 wins in a season. You guys break the record. What was going through that?
Man, it was all the games we won. It wasn't really like we was in the season. It's like you was playing a movie because, like you said, we just got done playing basketball in June. You back playing basketball. So now you go in all these different arenas. Every game is a championship game. So a lot of people don't understand that when the Warriors come to town, you get their best. It's not like you know what I mean? I'm not gonna call no teams out, but certain games you go to, like, oh, it's an easy win. We can rest some players. It wasn't like that. I'm talking about if a ticket was 150. When you playing against somebody else, when the Warriors come to town, they 600. So it was crazy going on the road, man. See support from the Warriors fans. We got 5,000, 2,000 people at every hotel we get there at night. And then we got the whole arena is kind of like 20% of Warrior fans. Like, to see that, to travel and be a part of that. And then it was the crazy thing was when we played against Milwaukee, when they beat us. It was like a championship. They got confetti coming down. They got everything. I'm like, Jesus. But that's what happens when you build a team. Bob Myers, those guys, Joe Lacob, all those guys out there, Peter Gruber, they build a team up. That's what happens when you travel and build that chemistry, and you get stuff like that.
And throughout that year, I mean, we know another huge bench piece in Golden State was obviously Iguodala and Shaun Livingston. Those guys, I mean, a lot of guys out there, but those three especially. What was it kind of like getting the chemistry with those guys and really forming an elite bench?
Like we said earlier, I played with those guys. I played with Shaun Livingston in Cleveland. I played with Iguodala for 4 years in Philly. So we knew each other crazy because we signed the same year to go to the Golden State too. So it was fun playing with those guys. IQs is out the roof. Especially Andre and Shaun, man. Those my guys, man. Those guys is great people. They do it the right way with the family and everything going on. So shout out to those guys, man. And it was just amazing playing out there. It would make my game so easier, make me so easier, hit open shots and do what I do.
And obviously, probably not the highlight of your career and all, but the finals obviously come up. You guys get the 3-1 lead. I mean, what's going through you guys' mind if you guys get that third win and you guys are kind of taking over the series at the time?
Well, for me, and probably for a lot of more players on that team, we ain't supposed to be there. I'm going to say that because against OKC, we playing against a bigger, stronger, better OKC team. We down 3-1 against them. Like, I know for me, I'm like, oh, man, how are we going to get out of this hole against these guys? KD, Westbrook, Steve Adams, Cantor, Warriors killing. They playing good. How can we come back and beat these guys? And we figured a way and came back and beat them. And it's like, man, you lead OKC series 7 games. Now you got to play the Cavaliers. They've been sitting for a week, 2 weeks. Now you got to play them. Cavs just beat up the whole series. You got to understand, Steph was out that series. He fell on his neck. Draymond some kind of way, Draymond got suspended for somebody stepping on his neck. He got suspended. Bogut was out. So we got all this stuff going against us. We ain't get no rest. You got to understand, the year before when we won the championship, the Stars didn't play in 20-something fourth quarters. So that comes back to help you at the end of the season when they rested like that. But the year after, we was kind of like trying to get the record, so them guys wasn't resting. It kind of came back and hurt us, man. It kind of came up. You got a fresh Cleveland team who've been sitting for 2 weeks. You see what I'm saying? So,
oh, yeah. And there is that huge one, obviously, against Oklahoma, as you talked about. You guys are down 3-1. And that's a team of Kevin Durant, who might have been one of the best players in the league at the time. We see Russ. We go down that list you talked about. You see those guys line up. You guys are down 3-1. What's the attitude in the locker room for you guys?
We're going to play this game. We're going to give it all we got. We're going to go out there and shoot. We're going to play defense. We're going to give it all we got. Whatever happens, happens. That's what it is, because these guys is bigger and stronger and more physical than us, and we playing at OKC. One of the loudest places. History. There's rocks in there. How can we come out of this? How can we come out of a 3-1 series and come back and beat them? That was the championship that year.
Yeah.
That was the championship that year. Then everybody kind of forget that, though. Everybody forget that we came back from 3-1 against a team. Then we had to go 4 days later and play against the Cleveland Cavaliers, who've been sitting for 2 weeks. People forget that, but it is what it is. This is the NBA. So it was fun, though. It was fun.
And you look at those two teams. I mean, obviously you said you played Oklahoma. You play Cleveland. We know the two rivalry between KD and LeBron in a way in terms of player stats and all, but who would have probably been the better team out of those two?
Are those one again?
Out of Oklahoma and Cleveland.
Yeah. OKC would have smacked them. It wouldn't have been close. They would have smacked them. For sure.
And we obviously know that you go out there, the 3-1, the whole Draymond situation happens, and that kind of allows you to kind of have a bigger role now on the team. How did you guys kind of find out the Draymond thing, and kind of what was the game plan now switched around without Draymond?
It's kind of crazy because if you think about it, in the OKC series, whenever it happened with Steve Adams, we thought he was going to get suspended then because it really happened where it was. You see what I'm saying? But for the championship, if you got a guy's on the ground and somebody step on you and you put your hand up to move him off you, how can you get suspended by that? If that was me complaining to the refs and say suspended Draymond, you think that would happen? No, he would not get suspended. If that was JR Smith complaining, no. If that was Kyrie, no, maybe not. But the one person who could change the whole league complained, well, Draymond ain't play. We found out. How did we find, you know what I mean? In one of the biggest games, how didn't they play? Some might be up with that. It's a little crazy, though, that he got suspended that game. But it is what it is.
So would you say that for some players, refs do treat them differently than others?
The refs, the league. You know what I'm saying? The league is a great league. But it's people in that league got more power than other people. It is what it is. That's how life is. And any job you do, certain people got more power than other people.
And we talk about Draymond, and we obviously hear a lot of people see him from the outside, him bringing his energy, bringing his defense, his trash talk, all the stuff he brings along with him. But him in a locker room, him as a teammate, what's Draymond like?
Competitive. He want to compete with everything he does. And that's all the best guys is. You want to be able to compete whatever it is. If it's playing cards, if it's anything, he want to compete. Drinking a bottle of water, he want to compete. But he's a good guy, man. He got a good foundation. Great person. Sometimes he probably rubs certain people a certain way, but it's all in the good. He's a great person, man. He's a good person. Great foundation.
And another thing about that is you guys talk about that locker room. We see all the greats. I mean, how many Hall of Famers was in that locker room? What's those practices like? Is it maybe one practice out of your time there with those guys that stand out more than any other one?
Yeah, like I was telling, we kind of do our own thing in practice. We know what we're gonna do. The coaches just give us the outline. We know what we're gonna do, but every day is during the season you kind of not practicing like that. You come in and get some shots, but training camps, there's a lot of training camps. It was long days and it was competitive. A lot of different things going on in there.
And you're a part of locker rooms, as we talk about, ones that are losing locker rooms, ones that are dynasty-like locker rooms. What's the biggest difference in terms of those two teams?
Who sticks together, goes on the road, sticks together. If you're in the city, if you're at home, somebody got, for example, Steph Curry got an event, Klay Thompson got an event. You're gonna see 8 or 9 players there. It's not like I'm gonna have an event, you're gonna have an event. No. If something going on, a player got an event, you're gonna see 9 or 8 players there every time. Guys is gonna support. Guys is gonna go on the road. You're going to see everybody at dinner together, wherever restaurant it is. You know what I mean? So guys going to go on the road. You're going to play video games together. You're going to play cards together. You're going to hang out. And compared to losing locker rooms, you really don't have no leader. You really don't have nobody who's trying to control stuff. After you lose the game, it's okay.
Locker room has to be led by a superstar, a guy like Steph Curry, a guy like Klay Thompson, or is the leader sometimes a guy that might have a bench role, someone like you, someone like Andre Iguodala?
I'm not gonna say that's what you need, but a guy who willing to come in and step in and take responsibility of their role. It might be a guy who don't play no minutes, but he did a lot of things in his league, and you're gonna respect him. And that's kind of stuff what sticks the team, hold his team together. And then especially the guys who lead the course, who lead the team, if they step up, of course you're gonna listen to it. And that's what it's about, man. Those guys out there, man, is just different. And people say how people kind of hate them, love them now, but those guys got drafted there. Those guys work, man. Those guys just get developed. You know what I mean? They developed to a great franchise now.
And we talk about that. Obviously, then after that season, you end up going to LA, you go to the Clippers with Doc Rivers. Dude, that whole transition period, I mean, why did you end up deciding to leave Golden State to go to LA?
Man, it wasn't really. It was kind of weird with the Golden State thing because I wanted to stay there, man. I wanted to be in the Bay, man. I love those people, man. I just love being in the Bay. I just love it. It was a great time for me. But in that situation in free agency hit. Okay, boom. The Warriors is the team I've been with the last 3 years. I did a lot of great things there. How can I see that they signing all these other dudes before they reach back out to me? So I'm like, well, that means they don't want me back or something. You see what I'm saying? Got to be. So, because I'm waiting for them to hit me up to see what's up. But I see them signing Shai Pachulia, David West, all these other dudes. I'm like, all right, cool. And Doc Rivers kept it real with me from the beginning. And that was the first time when I went to LA. It was the first time I ever played all 82 games in the season. And I respect him for that because he kept it real from the beginning.
So were you never approached then by anyone in the locker, anyone in the management by telling you were probably going to get let go or something like that?
No, I never got let go. I was a free agent.
Yeah. But like, did anyone ever like talk to you about like saying we're going to probably move on now?
Nah, not like that. It was like in a situation that they was like thought I was gonna come back, but how can you come back if nobody reached out to you? So it is what it is, man. It's part of life, and it happens, and nothing but great things out there though.
And we obviously talk about that, and people obviously keep knowing your name. Everyone in Golden State loves you by MoBuckets, and that became a huge name that still lasted past the time at Golden State. When you're in LA, you're in Orlando, the seeing your legacy kind of imprinted there. I mean, what does that mean to you?
No, it means a lot, man. It means a lot to be a part of a franchise that did so much the last 10 years or last whatever years. It means a lot to know that the work you put on that court, the work you did outside of that basketball, people appreciate it. And that's the biggest thing I learned over the time, over my career, that the people appreciate what you do on that court. If you work hard, whatever you do. Like I told you, one of my big homies, Reggie Evans, man, I seen every team he went to, guys loved him. Guys loved him because he brought it every day. He brought that lunch pail every day because he had something to prove. Like guys like Reggie and me, a lot of more guys in the league, we weren't supposed to be here. We ain't never supposed to be in the league. So you get the opportunity to get around stuff like that, to be in a situation like that, you gonna take off with it. And that's why every time I get on that court, I'm gonna give it my all because I'm supposed to be here, man. And God blessed me on this court. I gotta give it back. And those guys out there, man, in the Bay appreciate that. The fans and whoever else.
And you look at guys, young guys coming in now. We know obviously the guys that are superstars, all-stars, they last in the league for whatever really time they want. But for guys like you that are just really good rotation players, even sometimes starting players, how do you guys manage to last? What's like the secret or the code to last in the league for as long as you guys do?
Man, you just gotta know your role, man. You can't overstep nobody. I know what my role was. I know where I'm supposed to be on this team. I don't care about who getting all the publicity. I don't want it. I'm gonna do what I gotta do. I don't care what anybody else gotta say. So for me, I just played my role, man. I just did what I did, came in and worked. People gonna want you.
Golden State would take the next step for you. We see a couple different teams. I mean, for the future now, what's some of the teams you look at? What kind of system, I guess, would you really want to see yourself fit
in? But like how I play is kind of like how all these bigs now.
Mm-hmm.
When I was playing, when I first started being a stretch big, it wasn't really too many stretch bigs. But now everybody's shooting the ball. So any situation that God bless me with, man, I can fit in anywhere it is. So I don't got one position. I'd love to go back to the Bay one time and play for those fans. I'd love to do that, but it is what it is. If it happens anywhere, it happens. If not, I'm okay with that too.
And a couple things before I let you go is you talk about faith, obviously, being a believer.